Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys a ChatGPT prompt that you can go ahead and steal from us that just makes it super easy for you guys to learn any language in the world super quickly and to have, ChatGPT essentially just become your tutor. So in this case, you can just go ahead and copy the prompt from the description of this video or the pinned comment, depending on what YouTube allows us to do. But once you have it completely copied and ready to paste, you can basically just paste it into anywhere on ChatGPT. You can use the standard chat, you can use a custom GPT, but what we always recommend on this channel is to simply use projects mode, especially for things like this, because it is actually a form of a project, and it just helps keep things nice and organized. So we're going to name this language tutor, and we'll see what language we're going to be learning in a second. And what I like also is that it has this option here for memory, to keep memory to be project only. That way anything that you discuss in this chat, or in this project mode rather, stays completely confined to it. So any memories that it stores will stay confined to this projects mode. And the same thing with chats outside of the projects mode. It won't take memories from there, or basically the memories won't intertwine. So it just keeps your overall memory hygiene nice and clean while using ChatGPT. That way there isn't overlap and confusion in any of the other chats that you're in. So I'm going to go ahead and paste the prompt now that we're in here. And this is an idea of what it looks like. So it basically says, you are my personal language tutor and curriculum designer and speaking partner. Core rule, anyway, I don't have to go over all of this, just you guys can go ahead and read it if you like. But basically what's going to happen is we're going to paste this, and you can edit it however you like as well if there's certain things you don't like. But it's ready to go. Essentially, once we hit enter, it's going to start asking us a intake. So we're going to go through a series of questions so that it understands exactly what we're doing, what we want to do, what we want to learn, and get more context on us. So it's very important, in my opinion, to answer these questions as descriptively as possible. That way you'll get the most out of the prompt and use it as correctly as possible. So what language do you want to learn? So I'm just going to go ahead and say Spanish, and we're going to go ahead and click enter. And now obviously, I'm not going to go through each of these questions right now because this is going to take forever, because there is a series of questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to answer all these questions, and we're going to go over it together really quickly just so you guys can get the gist. You don't need to see me go through each of them in this process. Alright, I answered the series of questions, and now it's actually building us a 30-day plan. So we're just going to go over the questions really quickly just so you guys get the gist of it. It's a little slow right now because it's actually processing the 30-day plan for us. So let's just go up here. Alright, so it asked us what language we want to learn. I went ahead and said Spanish. Then it asked us what our current level is, and I just said I'm a complete beginner in this case. Then it asks us what's the main goal, and there's, gives us the option of travel, conversation, work, school, exam, reading, media, writing, and you can always just do other, but I just went ahead and said for just, basic conversation. Any dialect preference, I said no preference. I mean, in this case, it's just, I'm answering very generally because, once again, like, I'm not actually learning this, but to give you, the best results here, it is better to be as more descriptive as possible. So if you do have preferences for accents or dialects, be sure to include that. What topics do you care most about? See, it's 3 to 8 they request, and if you want here, you can give as much as you need, and that's once again a good place where it would be important to be as descriptive as possible. But I just said speaking essential language for travel and the basics. Then I said it asks us the time available to learn, basically minutes per day and how many days per week. I said 20 minutes a day for 7 days a week, so basically just 20 minutes a day every day. Do you want more speaking, listening, reading, writing, or balanced? I just asked for balance, and then the correction style I said very strict. Then they ask if there's any constraints, and I just said none. I mean, this is a good area, for instance, if you're ADHD, or if you want things to be faster paced or slower paced, that's where you'd like to basically direct it. And for correction style, just essentially how you would want it to be communicating with you, if you want it to be gentle or very direct. And then after that, it goes ahead and actually starts creating our plan to learn Spanish for 30 days. So we see the starting point, it goes over our whole intake, and then we got our plan. So as you see here, week 1 foundations, goal survive the very basic interaction, learn greetings, polite words, I am, want, need, etc. Then week 2, daily survival Spanish, with a checkpoint on day 14th to order in the cafe, ask where something is. Week 3, it'll go over travel situations. Week 4 will be real conversation building, so that's our goal, to actually be able to hold a conversation. Typically, if we're going to travel or going to go eat somewhere type of thing, checkpoint. Once again, at day 28, then consolidation, basically to make Spanish, or what we learn in Spanish, usable. Then, as we see here, days 1 to 30, we get an idea of what it'll look like. So warm-up speaking aloud, spaced review quiz, one tiny new concept, guided drills and role play, your output, 4 to 6 sentences, and then corrections. And then every day, 7, 14, 21, 28, short checkpoint instead of a normal lesson. So we go over everything. So as you see, it's more than just a tutor. It's almost you're getting a full course in whatever language you like. And then we see review anchors that we can basically save or copy paste into another area if we like. And we're going to scroll all the way down here, and we'll see after like all of these little things that you can save and utilize how we'll use this dex, as it tells us days 1 to 7, and basically how we're going to use the terms that they told us to save. And then finally, when you want, start session 1, send start today. So now, at this point, we're actually in the lesson, and it's going to organize it like I asked for, basically in 20-minute sessions. And now I said start, so we are beginning the day 1. Now, obviously, you can do more than one in one day if you like, because it will be spaced in those 20-minute sessions, but it'll build it according to what you responded in the intake questionnaire. And then as you can see here, we have your first session ready. I'm keeping it simple and useful, greeting and introducing yourself, one travel-friendly pattern. And then finally, it actually starts the lesson, and you can go through the entire lesson at that point, and you'll have the option to continue on to the next day once the lesson is complete. And that's basically how you can learn a language super quickly with our prompt in ChatGPT in this 30-day thing, and you can even extend it into more days if you like. It's all up to you. But this is a good starting point to learn any language on ChatGPT by simply copying the prompt, pasting it, hitting enter, and then answering all of the questionnaire as descriptively as possible. So if you want the prompt, you can get it in the description of this video, or you can get it in the pinned comment, depending on what YouTube allows us to do. But hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and have a nice day.